business is I'll call out the name of the petitioner on each item. If you would please come to the podium, speak directly into the mic, and if you have a face mask on and you're speaking, please feel free to remove that, if you will, because that way we can understand what you're saying, what your presentation is. Otherwise, if we can't hear you, I'll have to ask you to remove it. Once we receive public testimony and discussion on a particular item has concluded, members of the board will deliberate. We will render our decision. I'll remind the members with a personal or any financial interest in any item, you're required to recuse yourself from voting. Once we receive testimony from the petitioner or on behalf of the petitioner during the presentation of the agenda item, it will be binding on any decision the board makes relative to the motion. I remind members of the board, if a motion to deny an item is made, a reason must be given. This time I'll introduce our board members that are here tonight: Ms. K.T. Brown, Marika Blair, Bo Holmes, George Howell, Jennifer Shaw, and I'm John Stanley, Chairman. Our Land Staff Division that's here tonight is Ms. Tanya Ingram and Jovan Hines, our Recording Secretary. We have 6 members here tonight. It requires 5 votes to approve a motion. If you feel as though that might adversely affect the outcome of your presentation, you can delay your presentation until the next meeting. If you want to do that, feel like you're inclined to do so, please see Tanya Ingram over here to my left. And we have another board member walking in, so we'll wait just a second for him to get here. That'll give us 7 board members. Hello, Blake. We're glad you can make it there. Yeah.
You don't get one? What's wrong?
I'm too old. Hey, Blake. Okay, we'll get started. Item number 1 is presented by Mr. Bill Wilson, representing RaceTrac, Inc., requesting setback variances for new ID signs to be located at 5705 Troy Highway in a B2 and M1 zoning district. Mr. Wilson?
Good afternoon. Bill Wilson, Gonzalez Strength and Associates. Do I need to state my address? I'm assuming state my address. 1550 Woods of River Chase Drive, Suite 200, Hoover, Alabama 35244. I'm here on behalf of RaceTrac. RaceTrac is looking to build a new store there at Taylor Road and Troy Highway. It'll be kind of the northeast intersection across the street from across Taylor from the new Speedway. They're requesting the sign setback, the required sign setback is 10 feet. They're requesting to be able to reduce it down to 0 feet. The sign locations are in the red clouded areas there on the site plan. We've got one on Troy Highway. We've got one on Taylor Road. The signs will be a pylon sign, 45-foot max height. They're not asking for any variances on the sign itself. The height or the square footage, just asking for a variance on the setback. The reason for the request for the variance is the right-of-ways in that area are fairly wide, so the property itself is set a fair distance away from Troy Highway and a pretty good distance away from Taylor Road, actually. There's a road that's actually out in Taylor Road. It's basically a service road. So we'll have to set our sign basically behind that. So that's the reasoning for the request. Our hardship is, right-of-ways that are wide in this area to be able to get our signs closer to the roadway. That'd be kind of a normal setback or a normal distance away from the right-of-way as in other areas. So be happy to answer any questions you guys may have.
So are y'all gonna tear down the other one? I guess it's a Marathon currently?
Yes, sir. We will be.
When
It'll be a brand new store.
And when do y'all planning on breaking ground?
Breaking ground? April, May 23.
next year? And what's the build out on it? About how long does it take to?
6 to 9 months, build-out period. 7 months. So opening towards the end of the year, end of 23.
Y'all aren't scared of competition right next door, are you?
Okay. All right, so you're gonna be on the property line. Again, how far are you gonna be from edge of pavement on the Troy Highway?
We will be, yeah, it'll be probably 25 to 30 feet off the edge of paving.
On the Troy Highway?
On Troy Highway, that's correct.
I can't hear you. You're gonna have to speak into that mic.
On Taylor Road, it'll be significantly more like 50, 60 feet from right away.
Because you'll be between the
Yeah.
building and the service road.
Hold on a minute.
Exactly.
Hold on. Don't, please. All right. So you're gonna be on the property line, but about 25 feet off Troy Highway, edge of pavement. Correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Any questions?
Where, how far off do you guys know how far off the road, what is that? That's a raceway, I guess, next door across the street. How far off are their signs? Speedway. How far off are their signs? Do you know?
Not sure, I haven't looked at those.
Distance, it doesn't matter in this case. George, you got a question?
I don't have a question, I have a comment. If y'all ever want to know the complete history of that area right there going back to about 1860, let me know. My grandfather owned that land a long time ago, and I used to live across the road.
Let's go.
Wow.
Yeah,
Big deal, okay?
thank you. Thank you.
He sold
All right. Anyone in the audience care to address this item?
We entertain a motion.
I'll entertain a motion.
I so move the request of 10 feet setback variance for 2 new ID signs.
Have a motion approved. Have a second.
Second,
Who second?
I did.
Tom. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Okay. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
You bet.
Thank you.
Item 2 is presented by Flowers and White Engineering, representing Providence Partners LLC, requesting a rear yard variance for a dwelling to be located at 7146 Fain Park Loop in a PUD zoning district. Mr. Flowers?
Good evening, Brad Flowers, Flowers and White Engineering. The property that we're looking at today is over on the new development in Fain Park, over there close to the softball field. The lot itself, I don't know how many of y'all got a chance to look at that, but the lot itself had natural 8 feet of falling across it from the back to the front. The majority of these lots had planned on having a rear yard access or access drive between those lots to the east and west of the one that's highlighted, and be able to access all the houses from that back side would not have been an issue. The problem was now coming in on the second floor doesn't set well for a garage coming in on the second floor. So they end up having to do a retaining wall down that back side. They've got one lot, this one, that they have a house that the lady's wanting to buy or actually build. And this is the only lot left that would accommodate it. It sits towards the rear. Because of the retaining wall in the back, they had to reconfigure the house a little bit to be able to get everything in it. What you see on the back there on the top of the diagram, it's basically all porch. They do have a little bit of it enclosed on 2 sides and do have a fireplace on the back side of it that you don't see there. But anyway, that's what's on the back. The main dwelling structure is in front of it well enough, but it's a 10-foot porch on the rear. And we're just asking for that 7-foot, I think it was 7.2-foot variance to be able to extend into that rear setback a little bit to accommodate this house.
So, Brad, it doesn't interfere with the parking the drive across the rear?
No, because of the retaining wall, the drive is on the high side. It already accommodates all the lots to the west. There is no rear drive. These all have to be front-loaded now, and because of that, everything had to get shifted, and that's what pushed it back.
Have there been any other units there that have had the same issue?
The other ones, they've already gotten accommodated. This was the only lot left that had the size to be able to accommodate this house, and that's why they're asking for that. Every other lot that's of this size is already gone.
Okay, all right. Any questions?
I have a question.
Ms.
Could I
Brown?
have your name?
Brad Flowers. Anyone in the audience care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve as presented.
Mr. Howell makes a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Brown. She can't hear you, Ms. Brown. You're gonna have to take that mask off.
Second.
She seconds. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Thank you very much.
Unanimous? 3. Thank you, Brad. Item 3 is presented by Andy Puerta. Mr. Puerta, requesting a height and front yard variance to maintain a privacy fence located at 317 Chisholm Street in an R65 zoning district. Okay, Mr. Puerta, is that correct?
Yes,
Need your, are you Andy, or is this? Okay, who's going to be doing this speaking?
I'm the one who goes speaking.
Okay, and is your address 317 Chisholm Street?
317 Chisholm Street.
Okay, all right. I believe what you've got there is an existing privacy fence
Yes,
that comes to the front property line,
right,
and it's 6 feet tall.
right.
And our agenda says there was a complaint from
Okay.
somebody complaining about that.
Right.
Would you know why they are complaining?
They
Did
never said nothing about it, but
And-
but I can tell you why we did it, because we got 3 little kids. We just rented the house. There's 3 little kids in there. There's a 6 years old, 4 years old, and 2 years old. And there was no fence at all, period. So what we did, we built it up because plus the kids then, they was running on the old driveway, and there was a bunch of people get on the house. There was different vehicles that were coming through our driveway. Plus, I don't want to say this, but I have to.
Excuse me, but I'm having difficulty understanding you. My opinion, probably what happened here is somebody objects to you bringing that fence all the way out to your property line.
Right.
Because it blocks visibility. Okay? And your driveway is on that side.
Yeah.
Your car is backing in and out onto
But
the street.
There's
And-
a post right there in the center,
I
on
understand.
the both sides
I understand.
of the property.
But
And they were using my driveway.
if the opposition is, or whoever filed the complaint is not here, and is anyone here that's here in opposition? Okay. Javon, do you know how to address that question?
The complaint came in.
You're gonna have to.
The complaint only came in because the fence was past the house. People
It-
know that it's not supposed to be there, but he put it there because the neighbors would use his driveway and cut across in theirs. If you look at that aerial, you'll see the drive marks coming from his driveway into the neighbors, and they have 3 small children.
Yep.
So they didn't want them to do that. So that's the reason he put the fence, not knowing it was supposed to not be that high in front.
Plus, I want to add another thing. I don't want those kids, see those people doing drugs, because they doing drugs,
Well, maybe I've got a solution here, okay? Understand the problem, okay? We
Okay.
deal with this all the time, okay?
Okay.
But, I'll ask Mr. Holmes to address an idea that he has and see if you're okay with it.
Yes, okay.
So our concern when these fences come all the way to the street is visibility. People walking on the sidewalks could get run over backing out of your driveway, okay?
Okay.
So what I'm proposing, rather than making you tear the whole thing down, is if you will take from where you are now, move it back 10 feet at a height of 3 feet. Okay, move the fence. So go ahead and just cut 3 feet off of it, 10 feet back. That
3
way,
feet and 10 feet back.
10 feet back, 3 feet. And that takes care of our visibility problem, but it also helps you where they can't drive across it because you still have a 3-foot fence there.
That's okay.
Can you live with that?
Yeah, we can deal with it.
Y'all good with
No.
that?
Well, hold on. We're not asking for a vote
I
yet.
know,
I'll
I'm
ask
just
for the
asking
vote.
if they're okay.
But, that'll be the corner, you'll leave the corner of the fence there, okay? And then we'll lower it down to 3 feet. You would, okay?
Right.
All right. Any further discussion?
You leave the corner of the fence there.
Right.
Just
but
cut
you
it down to
reduce
3
it
feet.
down to 3 feet.
Right, so they can see it.
All right, I'll entertain a motion. Is anyone, well,
Nobody
before
else
you
out
do,
there?
anyone in the audience care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Holmes?
I motion to approve that they move the fence back 10 feet from the corner at a height of 3 feet tall.
Is any way can go to 4
Wait,
feet?
wait a minute. You're leaving the fence where it is.
Correct.
But you're just lowering the fence
Right.
from
4
6
feet.
to 3 feet
10
back to
feet
a
back.
distance of 10
Is any
feet.
way can go to 4 feet?
No.
No,
Okay.
that's part of the motion.
3 and 10 back. Okay.
That's part of the
That's okay.
motion. Okay? We've got a motion on the table,
All right.
okay?
That's okay.
So everybody understand, the fence stays where it is, he lowers it down to 3 feet to a distance of 10 feet,
I second it.
okay? Got it, right? That it, Bo?
Got it.
All right.
Have a second? Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you. Good motion.
Thank you.
Sir, just get with her and she can tell you like how long you have to do that, but it needs to get done. Because if you have to come back, we may just make you remove the whole thing, okay?
Item number 4 is presented by Reginald Jenkins, requesting a separation between structures variance for accessory structures located at 3425 Woodpark Drive in an R75S zoning district. Mr. Jenkins, how you doing?
How you doing?
You want to maintain 2 structures that are already there
Yes, sir. I just,
that are 7 feet apart, so you need a 3-foot separation,
yes, sir.
okay?
I just recently purchased a storage shed from Home Depot.
You're going to have to speak a little louder,
I just recently purchased a storage shed
okay?
from Home Depot, and when they set it up, it was like 3 feet too close to my existing structure. From my house is fine. From the property line is fine. 5 feet there, 10 feet from my home. But I have an existing tin shed that's already there. And it's 7 feet instead of 10 feet. And that's my problem.
What do you have in the accessory structure?
And my tin shed, I have a lot of lawn equipment.
Uh-huh.
And I work on cars kind of sort of, so I got my tools and air compressors and things like that.
Okay.
And so I recently got divorced about 1.5 years ago, so I need to keep some other things in the other shed.
Okay.
But I thought what I had in my backyard was efficient enough for that 10 by 10 shed that I just got, but it's 3 feet too close to my existing shed.
Sure.
Ms. Brown.
Okay. Hold on. Can you not move it? Is it already in place in that?
It's in place, and if we move it, it's gonna be too close to something else, too close to the property line or to my house. Because I don't have a real backyard, so I really can't move it anywhere else. And if I'm not approved, they're gonna have to like tear it down and bring it out because I have a
Okay.
carport that leads to my backyard.
Okay, got you. All right, any questions, board members? Ms. Brown? Anyone in the audience care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
So be it.
Ms.
Second.
Brown makes a motion to approve it. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Holmes. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Okay,
Thank you.
good luck.
Yes, sir.
Item number 5 is presented by Roosevelt Hardy, requesting a coverage variance and a separation between structures variance for accessory structures to be located at 16 Killingworth Street in R50 zoning district. Hello, Mr. Hardy.
Good evening, y'all. My name is Roosevelt Hart, and I live at 16 Killingworth Street. I'm here today to ask for variance to put up a carport, which is 20 by 20 on that address. And also, it brought to my attention I got 2 sheds, which is it's too close to each other.
Well, you got a lot of buildings back there in that backyard. What do you got in those things? What do you want to put in the proposed carport? Is that just for your car, or is it going to be an enclosed structure, or what?
Proposed structure is put my cars back there.
That's all right. And you're using you got a dwelling in the back of your yard?
A gully.
A dwelling?
A house.
Is that a house? Is that a house in the back?
Look in the upper right corner. What is that?
That's my house.
That's your house?
That's my house I live in.
That you live in?
The dwelling, that's
Yeah.
my house I live in.
Okay. And you enter off of that street in front of it, right?
I enter off Killingworth Street.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what now?
He enters off Kenilworth Street, which is to the right in this picture.
So,
To the right.
Yeah.
so your access is off Kenilworth Street, not,
Major.
so the house with the brown roof, that's not your home, correct?
Beg pardon?
The house or the structure with the brown roof, is that not your home? Is that your home?
The one said dwelling?
The one with the
Yeah.
brown roof?
The one said dwelling, that's where I live.
They just don't have a picture of his house. That's his house.
Yeah.
This is somebody else's.
Yeah.
Mr. Stanley, we drew the dwelling on there because in these aerials, his house didn't exist. It's pretty new. So
Okay,
those roofs are not his.
Gotcha.
okay. Got it.
And it fronts on Kenilworth Street.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Got it, the way you.
Doesn't look like it.
Is
Right
your
there.
is your
That's where he
carport
lives.
going to be enclosed?
That's where he lives.
No, it's a carport that people bring in,
Is-
and they board them to the ground. It's an open carport. You can put it on a concrete. The one I'm talking about is on
So it's
concrete.
like already fabricated.
It's already fabricated.
So it's like an aluminum.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright.
And those structures, those 10 by 20 structures, are those on a pad, or can they be moved at all?
The small one was there. The small one was granted in. It's been there for 1986. The 10 by 16, I put it there because I got permission to put it on there on that vacant lot. It was lot 24 and 16. I combined those 2 lots and I got one whole lot there.
So are you using both of those structures or those storage structures, the 10 by 20? Are you still using that one?
I didn't.
Are you still using the 10 by 20 that you said had been there since 1970? Are you still using that to store anything?
How am I using?
Are you still using it? Is it still being in use? Do you use it for anything?
Do I use it for anything?
Yes.
Oh, I got tools. I downsize. And some stuff I came down here with, I couldn't put in that little small house up there. So I got 2 sheds. One was already there. And that 10 by 20, I put some of my storage equipment in there.
So, well, the main thing he's asking for here is a proposed carport, correct?
Beg pardon?
You're gonna have you want a carport, a 20 by 20 carport, right?
Yes, a 20 by 20 carport.
12 by 20 or 20 by 20?
20 by 20.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Any further discussion or questions?
It's already built.
No, it's proposed. The carport is proposed.
But
The other structures are there.
That's what I'm asking.
Right.
And they normally require
The
10
other
feet
two are there.
separation.
Yeah.
There's only
And
two.
they normally require 10-foot separation, but
There's only 2
they're
feet.
only 2-foot separation. Okay?
So
All right.
he's seeking an 8-foot separation
Yeah.
between.
Okay. Any further discussion? Anyone in the audience care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve as discussed.
Have
Second.
a motion to approve by Mr. Howell, second by Ms. Brown. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. You good, Mr. Hardy?
All right, thank you.
Okey-doke, thank you. Item 6 is presented by Don Greer, requesting a special exception to place a mobile home for living purposes to be located at 1787 Greer Farm Drive in a flood hazard zoning district. Mr. Greer, you part of the Greer Farms?
Yes, sir. Lived there all my life.
Yeah. I used to hunt out there years ago.
Yeah, lots of people have hunted and fished.
Duck hunt.
Yeah,
How you been?
really good, and I appreciate y'all listening to me tonight.
Tell us what you want to do. You want to put a
Okay,
mobile
so,
home out there?
live on, that 14-acre plot there.
Speak a little louder if you will.
14-acre plot that, is in red there. My house is right there, the square, point right in the center of it. And, we built the house about, 5 years ago out there. We're in the flood zone, flood hazard zone, and so, we have to, make sure our elevation is right. But anyway, my, mother-in-law, she's 89 and she just lost her spouse, and we need to move her in with, I would like to move her on the property, and we thought the mobile home would be a good idea, be real close to us so we can take care of her anyway. That's the impetus.
So it's going to be for family purposes
Yeah,
only?
right, it's,
Not for rental purposes? Not for rental purposes?
no.
Not for no rental?
I wouldn't do that, no, sir. It's just to accommodate her and take care of her is what it would
Well,
be
that's
for.
our standard question.
Yes. And reason mobile home, instead of adding on, take a lot longer to do, and she's 89, I really don't expect this to last very long. And so, anyway, we have to build up to get our elevation right, and we have a pad there already. We would have to add a little bit of dirt to accommodate the elevation. But anyway, my septic system's there, water's there, and
Okay.
we just
got
like
it.
to do that.
Any questions, board members? Anyone in the audience care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
So be it.
Have a motion to approve. To have a second?
Second.
Second. Ms. Blair? Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand.
Thank you.
Just be sure it's not used for rental purposes
Oh, no, sir.
at any point.
I don't want anybody in my backyard.
I know, but that's going to be part of the record,
Sure, thank you.
okay?
Yeah, wrote that down. Not really.
Item 7 is presented by Charles and Kathy Lyles, requesting a street side yard variance for accessory structures to be located at 2468 Capstone Drive in an R85 zoning district. Mr. Lyles,
Yes, sir.
how you doing?
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Yes, sir. My wife Kathy and I are requesting this variance in order to place a structure, a new shed built by Tough Shed in the front corner of the backyard to the right of the slide there. Place an 8-foot by 10-foot, 8 by 10 shed where the existing shed is now. The existing shed was there when we bought the house, so we'd like to replace it and with a new shed and move the old shed to the 10-foot by 12-foot old shed to another location back in the yard, roughly 60 feet on back. The yard is very deep, the backyard, and it's completely fenced in with a 7-foot privacy fence all the way around the backyard. And today, before leaving, I just peered back through there to see if I could see the shed. If I may paint a picture for a moment. Just a touch of the top can be seen of the 8 by 12, the old shed. So we've got some good coverage there, especially with the trees and all. So if that's a concern, and the 8 by 12, the original shed that we moved, will be refurbished, if you will, so that it is looking new. And really, we want to turn it into a nice greenhouse. So
A nice what?
Greenhouse.
Oh, okay.
Yes, back in the back part of the yard. Well, 3/4 of the way back in the yard. And if any of it's showing, it would just be the very top of the peak there, or the pitch of the roof. So there won't be a lot of visibility there, is what I'm saying. Yes, sir.
Will the 8 by 10 accessory structure that you're going to put in the same place of the other structure that's there now?
Yes, sir.
Is it on a slab?
What, a slab?
Was it on a slab?
Yes, sir, it is.
So there's an existing slab there?
It is.
So that's why you want to put that structure on that slab?
That's correct, yes, sir. The slab is going to be a little bit bigger than the structure that we're buying, the shed that we're buying, but and it's a wooden shed with shingles, but we'll make do with that. But that'll allow us to move it on in away from the fence and still have a slab. Yes, sir.
Well, I know that there's been some opposition from some of your neighbors.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So would you have any reason why do you think that they would be concerned about it? And I don't know if anybody's here to oppose it or not. Okay, I'll get to you, ma'am, in a moment. Would you have a reason or know why they would have some opposition? Is it too close to the property line, or?
No, sir. No, sir. I can't think of any reason. The fence itself is pretty much right on the property line, and I can't really think of anything.
Well, the one that you're going to move, is there some way you could move it away from the property line?
Yes, sir.
More?
I'd plan to at least have it 5 feet moved in 5 feet from the property line and away from the fence.
Yeah, you've got it 5 feet off the property line.
The existing one now is not. It's right within a foot or so of the property line and the fence. Yes, sir. But the sheds now will be if approved, of course. The new shed will be 4 feet at least from the property line, and the original shed moved to at least 5 feet away from the property line.
Yeah, but one's going to be 5 foot off the property line, the other's going to be 4 feet off the property.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, any questions of the petitioner before I go to the opposition? Okay, ma'am. Mr. Lyles, if you'll just step aside and let's hear what she has to say.
Good evening. I am Sandra.
You're going to need your name and address, and please speak clearly.
I'm attorney Sandra Lewis. I'm at resident of 2643 Capstone Drive. I am past president of the Vaughn Meadows Neighborhood Association and a current board member. One of the things that we are concerned about.
Pull the mic down. Pull the mic down.
Oh, okay. One of the things that the board is concerned about is whether or not the shed will comply with the covenants that run with the neighborhood. We've not had an opportunity to see that, but he might be able to answer that question today. The other concern that we have is that the structure, as I understand it, will be shown above the privacy fence, and this piece of property is on a main thoroughfare through the neighborhood, Fieldcrest and Capstone, and he's right there on the corner. So we're concerned about the aesthetics that might occur, as well as the fact that some neighbors, when they see this, might think it's okay depending on the structure, whether or not it's with the covenants or not, we are trying desperately to keep the aesthetics of our neighborhood in place and to get those that are in the neighborhood and the new neighbors that are moving into the neighborhood to comply with the structures, you know, pursuant to the covenant. And that is our basic concern, and we understand you want to enjoy, you know, your home, and we always want to be neighborly, but we do want to express those concerns.
Well, please understand, we don't have jurisdiction over covenants and restrictions.
I understand that, but we still...
That would have to come from enforcement by your HOA.
Right, I understand that, but we are here to express our concerns and
Sure.
let our neighbor know what all of our concerns are.
Have you got a suggestion on the distance off the property line?
I'm sorry?
Have you got a suggestion? Because all we're dealing with here is the street side yard variance, okay? We're not dealing with what it looks like. We're not dealing with the aesthetics,
Well,
okay? But have you got a suggestion that might be agreeable to the HOA, move it off of the side property line some?
well, I would like an opportunity, if possible, if the association would have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Lyles about our concerns and see if we could come up with something that we all would be amenable to.
Okay,
That's a good idea.
all right. Mr. Lyles, you okay with us delaying that and y'all try to reach a compromise? Can I have a motion to delay?
So be it.
Have a motion, Ms. Brown, to delay. Second.
Second.
Ms. Blair. All in favor, raise your hand. Okay.
Thank you.
Delayed till the next meeting, Tanya? Go on. Maybe y'all can work it out between now and then. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 8 is presented by Johnny Johnson. Ms. Johnson, Mr. Johnson here?
This is the one that everybody complained about.
Huh?
This one that everybody complained about.
Oh, yes, you're right. You're right. We'll hold him over till the next meeting. Okay? Item 9 is presented by Daniel Builders, LLC, requesting a street side yard variance for a dwelling to be located at 8830 Birchfield Place in a PUD zoning district.
Good evening,
Hello.
Brad Flowers, and I'm going to present for Mr. Rusty Daniel Builders. The lot that's in question right here is on the corner of Birchfield Place and Birchway. If you look at the plat, the lot that is behind this one is actually in the back of the cul-de-sac. You can see it there on the south side. It is a really odd-shaped lot. So that house that will be eventually built on in the cul-de-sac will be sitting well back behind all of these lots. What's happened on this one is when we developed all the house plans, the front yard setback is on Birchfield Place, but it did not get shown on Birchway, being a double-sided street or double-sided lot. And so the house plans were all completed. This house plan is in keeping with every house plan that he's got out there as far as width, but because this lot had that other 10 foot right there, it encroached across that line for the front setback. So what we're asking for is a variance right there, and the variance I believe that you have in your packet, and I want to give you all this, we actually have a better picture because the variance that's needed is actually going to be roughly 3 feet, because if you see there on the top side of the house, you start into a cul-de-sac and there's a curve right there. The dimension that was shown on the plan that you have is the front corner in the straightaway, but it does encroach a little bit further as that cul-de-sac starts in and you get the curve radius. So it's actually a 3 foot on the back corner that we're going to be asking for, if that's okay.
Not 1 foot, 10 inches, but 3 feet?
Correct. We're pushing the actual dimensions like 17 foot, let me see, it's 17 foot 4 inches or give or take. And when you get into the variation with the brick, we'd ask if you don't mind us giving 3 feet into that and allowed to put it at 17 just to be safe while we're doing it. And like I said, there will not be a house behind, so there's no fear of blocking anybody's view or visibility that's going to be back behind us.
Okay. Any questions, board members? All right, so we would be approving a 3-foot street side yard variance. Okay? All right, Brad?
Yes, sir, correct.
3 feet.
3 foot, not 1 foot, 10 inches. 3 foot, no inches.
Correct, 3 foot flat.
Any questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve. Go ahead. That's fine.
Motion from Mr. Markham, second from Mr. Howell.
Second, yeah.
Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand.
Thank you very much.
How you doing, Rusty? You mighty quiet out there. Item 10 is presented by Reconnect Worship Assembly, requesting a special exception for church use in a building located at 1024 Monticello Park in a B2 zoning district.
Yes, sir. My name is Latarsha Shine. I'm on the board of Reconnect Worship Assembly, and we would like to use 1024 Monticello Park as a place of worship. We are proposing for additional parking with 7 parking spaces added with gravel, with bumpers.
Okay. Well, what we're doing here is we're considering you for a special exception for church use.
That's
okay. But we are concerned about what you're going to do about parking. Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
let me confirm with you your hours of services. Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yes, sir. Roughly.
Tuesday and Thursday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I'm very familiar with that cul-de-sac. And I know that there are a lot of other property owners in that cul-de-sac. And you will not be able to park on the street. And you got a big lot there. You got plenty of room to park.
Yes.
But parking will not be allowed, even though you only provide 15 parking spaces, you're gonna have to provide more if you're gonna have 75 members.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And those parking spaces need to be marked with bumpers or striped parking spaces, okay? But you cannot park in the street.
Okay.
Otherwise, the city's gonna be getting calls complaining. All right, now, because you're gonna be operating during nighttime hours, Tuesday through Thursday, you've gotta make sure you got adequate lighting serving your parking lot.
Yes, sir, we do.
Adequate, you do or you will?
It already has adequate lighting.
Okay, just be sure it's got very good lighting there, okay? Any questions? Any questions, board members?
Sound good.
Okay. Anyone in the audience care to address this item? I'll entertain a motion.
So be it, not to park on the street, adequate lighting.
Okay, you got that on the parking?
Yes, sir.
And because if you only got 8 paved and 7 proposed gravel spaces, that's only 15 spaces for potentially 75 members. That's inadequate. You're gonna have to find more parking spaces.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Not a problem.
All right. Have a motion to approve. Have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Markham. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Okay?
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 11, presented by Kamisha Lewis, requesting a special exception to place an additional mobile home for living purposes to be located at 230 Sealy Lane in an Ag 1 zoning district. Anybody here? No show. We'll hold it over to the next meeting.
Yes.
Item 12, presented by Kelly Hernandez, requesting a special exception to keep chickens at 420 East Ogden Avenue in an R75S zoning district. Hello, Ms. Hernandez.
How are you doing?
I believe this came in as a complaint.
Yes, sir.
And I believe, according to this, you've got 12 chickens.
Yes, sir. 6
Any-
big ones and 6 small ones.
Well, we all consider, they're all a chicken,
They're all
whether big or
chickens.
small.
The rooster is gone.
No roosters.
No rooster.
Why do you think there was a complaint? Was it noise, or was it smell, or
Maybe
whatever?
the noise. Because the rooster was making noise, so I got rid of the rooster already. The rooster is gone.
Okay. All right, well, certainly no roosters, okay?
No roosters.
Now, are you complying with the chicken guideline, coop?
Yes, yes, sir. I have the pictures if you want to see pictures of what the coop looks like.
That's okay, as long as you're compliant.
They are in compliance.
Is there any set number they can have?
We have guidelines.
6.
Of course, I don't have them with me.
What is that number, do you know?
6.
Seems like it was
6?
6 was maximum,
We've been
but
allowed
that's based off, I mean, less than even an acre. I mean, it's a very small lot, but that's just guidelines. Y'all can do what you want.
We've been going.
with 6.
How big is this?
Wouldn't be fair
lot?
to go.
It's a little lot, too.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
So do we only allow them to have 6?
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
We will allow
You
6.
wanna make that
Move
motion?
that we grant.
You wanna make that motion?
I will. I'd like to make a motion that we allow up to 6 chickens, not 12. No more than 6 chickens would be allowed. And they must follow the city guidelines for chicken coop and other rules and, regarding housing chickens in your yard.
Okay? And,
second it.
and no roosters?
No roosters.
Yes, sir.
I second it with no rooster.
Okay.
You got a couple roosters in your house, don't you?
I'm scared of them.
Any further discussion?
Yes, one more question. These are
Yes.
just chickens that lay eggs. I mean, these are ordinary chickens.
Like Rhode Island Reds, Jersey Giants, and Silkies.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Motion carries. Unanimous. Good luck.
Thank you.
That's kind of become our standard for chickens, particularly if you're on a small lot. If you had a larger lot, we might consider something more.
Yeah, we're looking for more land, though. We're
Well,
out
good
there
luck.
looking for it.
Is that your son?
Yes, sir.
Hey, buddy. Glad you came.
I had a question on the minutes.
Yeah.
The question was on the first page. Who is Mr. Williams?
We're through with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Brown, speak up. I can't hear you.
Who is Mr. Williams? Second by Mr. Williams.
Who is who? I can't hear you.
Mr. Williams. Who seconded Mr. Williams? She's wondering who's Mr. Williams.
He wasn't here. Who is Mr. Williams?
What page are you on?
The beginning?
She's looking at the first page.
Of who approved the minutes?
A motion made by Ms. Brown, seconded by Mr. Williams.
And he wasn't here because he's no longer on the board. We'll have to go back and look at the tape and fix that.
I think that was Mr. Howell that
We don't
seconded
have a
that.
Mr. Williams, is what she's saying.
We will go back and look at the video and see who seconded it and fix it.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Okay.
We have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a motion to approve the minutes.
Wait, I was
So
going to say your
moved.
vote.
We have a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Meeting adjourned. Thank you for being here. Go West Virginia and
No.